This
She
conference will now be recorded.
okay. All right. She's a Christian and she's single, but she's supposed to have gotten married, but due to the fact that she has been turning men down because of sex, and she has been telling them to marry till the marriage. Even while we are having the conversation, I could sense in her voice or in her action that the way she's passing the message is is bad or was bad. So I like, okay, how then can she possibly pass the message across, whereby the partner or the second person will not feel bad, or such in a way that if a guy walk up to you and two of you are dating, and you can easily turn him down like, okay, you know what, let's wait till marriage day. And but the way she told me, I know that she must have said it in a way because she was feeling high, like, I don't have me. I tell them that no sex before marriage, like, yes, we know that it's not right, but the way you are even talking to me right now, I can feel it that I'm sure that's where you are going to be talking to them. Even the men that can manage you till the marriage day. But the way you are talking now, we feel like, who be this one? Who does he think she is? So I said, let me bring the question today out that how do you think you can tell your partner that let's wait till marriage night before sex? So that's the question, because the way she appears to me, I know that no, 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 no. This the way you are talking to me, self, me that I'm not even your partner, you are kind of rude. So how much more the way you are going to pass the message across to your partner? So I need an answer. An answer on how she can go about it to pass the message across in such a way that the person too will feel like, okay, I can wait. Why not wait? Why not? Is it just under 1 year? I can wait. But she wait the way she's going about it. I don't know, but she sent the message across to me. I feel she was rude, and I'm sure that's how she's going to be telling those men, and that's the major reason of not getting married up till now. Because what brought up the conversation was, this my broadcast message I was sending out. So I now send it to her. She now said, we don't have boyfriend. I said, why don't you have it? And I said, I told you, I just tell them no sex before my. I said, okay, no problem. Hold on. Let me come to the house and talk to my people. Then, since the message is going to be recorded and jot down, then after tonight I can get the message across. So that's the discussion right now. You are welcome, Mr. David Otitokoro. I can see you. It's been a long time that we heard each other's voice, almost 2-3 weeks right now. You're welcome, sir.
Good evening, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Yes,
And before you answer our question, a lot has been happening in our world right now, and I'm not taking this our platform for granted. I must appreciate the people that comes on here. Yes, right now we are still kind of like feel like sometimes they are 10, 9, 12, and our expectation could be like, by now we should be like 50, 100. Yeah, it is good if we are many in number. That is our target. But as little as we are, I'm not taking it for granted, and I'm saying I really appreciate every one of us. And this thing called relationship, it is not. Yesterday I was in a meeting. I'm supposed to even invite some of you guys to that meeting. We're having a conference this weekend. Maximize the Moment International Mastermind class. Yesterday I was in one of their meetings too, and don't let me bug you with the story, but we talk about relationship on our next project. And one of the example that came up was, we know, but for the past 2 weeks now, Will Smith, everybody know Will Smith. If you're into entertainment, well, I'm sure some of us know whether you're there or not. Will Smith, that has been in a marriage for almost 25 years, is having issue with his wife in their relationship right now. In fact, I think for the last 5 years they have been having some issues, and up till now they are still together. And the issue is not just the issue is a bigger one. And I don't know how two of them could be able to handle it. Yes, some of us could say maybe due to their own background, all these white people. Yes, but in those white people too, divorce are many than the blacks. But these two are still going stronger despite their issues. I couldn't go through their videos they posted. The wife has a show that I couldn't even go through the video because Will Smith has been one of my mentor while I was growing up. It was one of my mentors while I was growing up in the entertainment, in music, movies. And when I go up, I found out about his marriage life. I even make him one of my mentor. And now, the person that I have been looking up to is having issue in his relationship, in his marriage of 25 years or more than that. Close, it's not 25 years, close or more than 20 years. And here I am, marriage of 9 or 10 years. And maybe some of us are 12. And someone that is already 25 is having issue, still having issue up till now. So that's why I say I'm not taking everybody for granted. That it's a great lesson for us to know that nobody knows it all. And we learn every day. We learn every day to help each other. We could, like I said, we could look at, we are not many, we are 4, we are 10, we are not. No. But at the long run, later in future, even after maybe Black will not even be doing this show again. But one or two things that we learn from here, and saying it's going to be a blessing, has been a blessing to each and every one of us. So I want to thank everybody for staying tuned and creating time, that 1 hour time to join us. I really appreciate. Laulu, you are welcome. So right now, I think let me drop the ball here while I allow you guys to talk. And if you have question and contribution, you are free to drop it. But I dropped a question before you came in. A lady sent me a text. She doesn't have a boyfriend, and I asked her why. She said, I just tell them no sex before marriage. The way she communicated the message to me was rude. And I told her, say, maybe, and I said, let me bring you to the house. How can a lady or a man tell the partner in such a nice way that the person will still stay with you till the marriage night? So I'll leave the floor to you now. If you allow me, I can talk for that 1 hour. I'm almost talking for almost 10 minutes now. So thank you, everybody. Anybody can go next. I don't have to call in.
Hello, good evening once again.
Good evening, man.
Yeah, I hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, I
For
can
me,
hear you.
it's looking to me like, well, she has not been able to meet the right partner for her. It may not necessarily be that she's rude, but she might have experienced a lot of bitterness in the past or a lot of things that, taught her some lessons, and she has made up her mind to take her stand. And I don't think it is actually wrong for anyone to decide on what he or she wants based on his or her belief. But it is also important that we learn manners, we learn to be cautious in whatever we do. And she should be able to also give a respectable distance and be decent enough to let the whoever comes her way know the kind of person she is. Then that is to say that she has to, mind her company and learn and imbibe politeness in a very serious way, because religion shouldn't take humanity from us. The fact remains that we are human, and if you have feelings for somebody, you are bound to be moved, to emotionally have emotional inclinations towards that person, of course, very strong ones than the regular people that you are just friends with. But if she tries as much as possible to be decent and also to um, give a distance and avoid corner side talks and gists, I'm sure that she would be able to overcome it and also help whoever comes her way to also manage that. It's something that can be managed, and it's something that it's not out of the way, that it can happen, it can be triggered because of the passion, but the person, it can be curtailed actually, and there is no crime deciding to stay put until the person actually does the right thing. Thank you.
Okay, ma. Thank you so much, ma. So, Mr. Titokogo, do you want to go? You want to go ahead? Or I should repeat the question again for new people that are joining us. Okay, Mr. Dixon, good evening. Welcome. So quickly before we go on, let me welcome everybody once again. I know it's been like 2 weeks now that we heard each other's voice on this platform. A quick question that Mrs. Bukola just answered for us right now is, how do you tell? There is an incident actually. I was sending out a broadcast message to some of our people for this show, and the lady just text me, me, I can't come on this platform because I don't have a boyfriend. And definitely my next question was, how come at your age you don't have a boyfriend? I've been telling them no sex before marriage. And I was like, okay, the way you spoke to me, the way you text me, I know you are rude, because how could you just, and so that's the question. How can I pass the message across nicely to my partner? Mrs. Bukola make mention something. The first statement you made is, which I can't really argue with it, but I can still argue with it. She has not met her right partner. Yes and no. This thing is kind of 50-50. Because you are maybe because you are a Christian or a born again Christian, maybe you are just giving your life to Christ, whichever way, and you are meeting someone maybe under 1 month, the person is asking for sex. Does not mean maybe the person is not the right partner for you because you are a Christian. But maybe because once he said, oh, we need sex, I need sex, then that can automatically turn you off being a born again Christian, because we know that it's different between Christian and a born again Christian. Easily turn you like, oh, this is not my partner. My partner will not even my right partner will even wait till marriage night. He won't even talk about sex. Like, but you mention something like, we are human. Once we are born together, definitely we have feelings for each other. Now, how is she supposed to tell the person in such a way that the person, anybody that is coming her way, whether right or wrong partner, she will pass the message across nicely to that person? Because sometimes, like people will say, we pray for ourselves that God will not allow you to make your wife your girlfriend. We sometimes men joke like that. A man that carries women, girlfriend though. The way you are carrying women up and down. So systematically, she could have said something to the right partner. I mean, something to the right partner wrongly, and you just turn that person like, look at this one. Maybe the person don't even want to test yourself. They want to know your level of Christianity. I say, okay, I need sex, and you just shun the person off goodly. The person will feel like, oh, okay, this person doesn't have courtesy at all. Let me cut off the relationship. So that's the question you met Mrs. Bukola talking about. So, Mr. Otito Kuru, let's have your view on this topic tonight.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
To me, I say good evening, everybody in the house. First of all, the lady has to, is she virgin?
I can't be asking that question.
Virgin. He is virgin. Then it can, that one can give her more audacity to ask for a partner that will not ask for sex till marriage. But to me, if she is not virgin, I believe that though he may still ask for it, but you know, what you have done already. Now you are now telling me that you can't go by it. Then the second point is that it has to do with the way you present it. If she really love the person that she meets, she must have the emotion. And though to go into each other marriage and have a sex affair is not something you will communicate. It's something that just happened somehow. So I don't believe that he has the he's right by saying that he wants to stay and to stay with a partner without having sex in marriage. But I want to assure her that in this world we are living today, it is very, very hard. And most of the time, over spirituality kills us. Over spiritual. When we are too over spiritual, it's not good. Though it is not advisable also to go and be a wayward person, but over spiritual. The only point that he can, if I'm the person, the only point that he can use to not, I promise, I will stay even till the time we are ready to go. I can stay. But if it's not virgin at all, she can't earn it. I'm very sorry to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I love the angle you're coming from. Even though I know you're not that kind of person, but I love the angle you are coming from. I don't want to say anything now. I have for your talk, I get a lot of things to talk about. But let me leave the microphone to another person to come to talk. Laulu Dixon, I want to hear your voice. If you can hear us, the floor is open. I want you to tackle Mr. David Otitokwu or make your own points. Thank you.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm glad to be here tonight. And
We're glad to have you.
well, it's a big show, actually. I won't say it's a big talk. It's a big show. It boils down to the individual at the end of the day. It depends on the two of them. But when one party is urging, when the other party wants to remain reserved to, the customary Christian culture, just to say, there's going to be an issue, especially when the other party is not buying the culture of this conservative Christianity. So it's going to be challenging, and this challenge I think has been staring them in the face before they get into one another, and they're going to face it in their marriage in terms of views. They're going to have differing views. But then I think in the aspect of deep spirituality, you don't want to do such thing. You don't want to do such thing. You expect your partner to understand with you. It's easier for the guy, but for the lady, I think it's difficult. I I cannot assume myself in their shoe because the truth is I'm not a woman, but I know that for the man, it's easy for the man to actually shut it down and say, okay, we are going down until after we are, we are done this or that or introduce ourselves to the world as man and a wife. And for man it's easier, but for women it can be very, very challenging. I must tell you, it can be very, very challenging. That's my submission, anyways.
This is we're having another angle to this thing now. I'm jotting everything down. Okay, let me have loud before we already
Okay.
have two angles to this now. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. And sorry for joining late. Man, you broke my heart. So it's good to join. Yeah. On the topic of discussion, and then from my own personal point of view and stand too, I think this issue is should be a matter of understanding. I think you understand. So it's not a matter of being rude to your partner or to the person you are dating. I think you understand. So if you don't want that kind of a thing, as of course, as a believer or as a Christian, born again Christian, those kind of things are not meant to happen. Yeah, and that's the truth. Yes. So if you don't want that kind of a thing, I think you should tell your partner, even if your partner is having the urge to do it. And I will still say it's my own personal view. And if he or she thinks he can continue with it, okay, good and fine. And if the partner thinks, okay, I'm not, because of this, I don't think I can go ahead with this relationship, I think it won't be a bad idea if you part ways. For me, that's my own point of view, and I think it's something that should be that the partner should understand. Okay, this is the decision, even as maybe because of religion issue or religion uh, ideologies, the partner should understand. And if he or she is okay, putting pressure and does not really want to understand, maybe that kind of issue is beginning to cause a fight or rancor. I think you understand, because I know of scenarios whereby uh, this is a private issue anyway, and I wouldn't love to share it. One of my friends just shared it during a program like that. Like she confided in me, and she said it that immediately the guy had access to her. In fact, I think the guy lost. That was the start of what's it called in that relationship. Yes, and to be on the safe side too, it's advisable sometimes that you just be on the guard. I think you understand. And just to support what Mrs. Zekeri said, Mrs. Bukola said, maybe because of the previous experience of the lady, it might be a good reasoning too. Because let me just use that my friend as an example. She told me that immediately the guy, okay, she's been a virgin for till the time he met the guy, and immediately she opened up and the thing happened. Yeah, in fact, I think immediately the guy had just tasted what he wanted. He changed. He changed. And I think it didn't take them too long before the relationship broke. For me, I think to be on the safe side, if you don't want such thing to happen, just be on the guard and let your partner understand. Like present it in a reasonable way, not that being rude or something. Just let them know it's not a crime if you tell them, okay, just let us have it this way. And if he or she thinks he can go along, of course, it's not a crime to have urge for sex or something. It's not a crime. It's not a crime. It is not anointing oil that is in. When you're anointing oil, don't want to know where you are. Do you understand? It's not a crime. It's not a crime. But then this issue just needs understanding, and if the partner thinks he can flow along or continue with that kind of a thing, okay, good. And if he thinks okay, or probably if the issue of sex is causing wahala in that relationship just because of sex, and the things are going haywire, things are turning upside down because of this because of the issue of sex, I don't think it would be reasonable to continue with that kind of relationship. But above all, I don't support rudeness, being rude and arrogance. Just let your partner know if you are convinced, and if that's what you want, just tender your case. And if he thinks he can play along, or if he or she thinks he can play along, so fine. And if it's something that will cause wahala, I don't think it would be reasonable to continue. So that's just my stand.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Laolu. Thank you. Sorry for your loss, the man you lost. Sorry for your loss. Try again next year, next season. All right, back to our main question today. And like I said earlier, and I'll keep saying it, the issue, yeah, we are here on this platform for relationship talk and stuff like that. And I've said it before that most of the time in this part of the world, we try as much as possible not to talk about sex. And that really has affected a lot of marriage because they always shy away from it. And I remember when I was growing up in one of my churches where I was growing up then, most of our young girls then were getting pregnant. And we the guys, not because they give them belly, then they carry the belly come from outside. We the guys, we just look, most of us look like area boys because we come to church and because most of us are instrumentalists and you know the faces, the way that they take look instrumentalists. We look like a rugged boy, we dress like hip hop boy, but we know they do. They have fun all like that. But most of our girls come from outside with pregnancy. And I think I was part of the youth escort at that particular time. And there was this topic we wanted to raise at that time. Like, let's talk about sex in the church. We said we will invite some people from outside to come and talk to the youth. And I remember that lesson about sex. At that particular time, I was watching. Then I was born again, serious born again at that particular time. Sorry, I was watching Matashimolo. It was still doing this. Maybe I can't remember the channel then. It was even actually talking about sex series on his TV show. So I was following up with him. So I said, okay, let's bring this sex talk to church. You know what one of our elders said? He said, no. And this man, and he's a doctor. He said, no, how will you be talking about sex in the church? No. If you want to talk about sex, we should change the word sex and use gender and use female and male. And now we now talk to one person and say, see, some of our girls, not all, are bringing pregnancy. And you people are shy away from talking about sex because at home, their parents too are shy to talk about it. Even in school, right now, even in church, you guys are ashamed of them because we refuse to talk about it, and they don't know even the results, and they just feel it's just fun like that. So I believe coming on this platform and talking about it most of the time, I think it has really helped some of us in a way to handle our relationship. I know some people are not here, but I can tell you that. So this brought up with the issue of sex today, and I quickly want to. I know Mrs. Bukola has something to say, and I'm thanking God that Mr. David is still on the line. His line is not going off and on like Mr. Dixon. Me, I have a personal tackle on some of your points. Mrs. Bukola, do you have any tackle for Mr. David? I don't want to be the one. I feel like I'm not the only one that is seeing his points.
Well, it tends to be a little bit hard on the lady and all that. But
Yes,
and said something like she cannot earn it if she isn't a virgin. Virginity or not
thank you,
has nothing to do with this matter.
thank
And
you.
there are so many people that were not virgins before they got married, and they even got married to people that were virgins.
Mhm.
So that the fact that whether she has been a virgin should determine her own stand. It's her life, and she has the right to make up her mind for what she wants. Every individual entering into a relationship or engaging in a relationship has a right. And if the other party in the relationship is not going to honor that, irrespective of how you say it, sometimes, whether she was rude or something, if the person too was actually considerate and not just after that sex, the person would have been able to reason it out. That was why I started by saying that it's not looking like she has the right person. Because, by experience, I had an issue like that. And when it became the question was even that the person was a minister, a supposed minister who works as a pastor in a church. But you know that our level of maturity differs. And because of the background I had, I was bent on the fact that I would marry a man that will not insist on sleeping with me before we get married. So I had covenanted my life to that, and I was bent on it that even if it has to do with, staying unmarried, so be it. I'm comfortable. And it it's I that is why and that is why I also believe that it's not as if because he is a minister he shouldn't have feelings. Of course, if he doesn't have feelings for me, we are going to have problems in the marriage, because there is no way love will be expressed when there is no intimate feelings attached to it. So it the fact that she is a virgin or not a virgin does not mean that she cannot marry the right person. She will still be able to marry the right person. Question of understanding, and also she should take her stand and be polite, be mature in handling whatever comes her way. And as much as possible, it is taught that when you have much of advances coming to you from the opposite partner, you should be able to check yourself, check your dressing. If you are dressing and wearing skin piece, of course the person will be running after you. And if care is not taken, if you find yourself in any closet, the person can even rape you. The person can rape you. So you have to avoid wearing things that will be too skimpy and reveal your total shape. Because this is somebody that already loves you, has a feeling for you, and you are not yet officially married, and you want him to be able to wait for you. So at least help him to curtail his appetite for that. As a woman, it's a responsibility that she has to understand and work with. And I think lastly, he said something about over spirituality. There is nothing over spiritual about being yourself and taking a stand for yourself. I have no apology to say that there is no over spirituality about it. It is your faith, and you can decide to stand by it, because that is your life. That is what you live for. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma. I think let me start from your last. The over spirituality I think Mr. David was talking about, like over spirituality in that kind of sense. Even me, I use that word for a lot of people too, even apart from sex or this matter. I think in our world today, some of us, let me say, it's not even the issue of sex right now. And in the way some people carry Christianity on their head, like, gosh, we are not saying you should not carry the Christianity on your head like that, but please, like, let's use our own brain too. Somebody is passing an information to you, you have to process it. Though if I'm the one preaching to you from the altar, I'm telling you this and that, I think you to go back home, read it, process it yourself. Don't just take it the way your pastor is telling you. But some people, they will just take it all like that and be acting upon it. I think that's the word Mr. David was trying to use about over spirituality. So I don't think it's about that. Thank you. I don't want us to stretch this meeting for 1 hour. I want to experiment some things on our YouTube line, because some people that are listening to most of our records online, we want to make it as short as possible. But I didn't say that from the beginning. And I thought I would be able to manage it for 30 minutes, but we spend more than 30 minutes. So I will not be sending any question again till next week. But I thank you, Mrs. Bukola, for addressing that issue. Because I was like, Shembe, now only me the hear Mr. David they talk about. Mr. David was too harsh on the ladies about virgin. And coming from a spiritual aspect too, let me be over spiritual too. Like, the lady could be, it doesn't necessarily have to be a virgin. Maybe she was in the world before. Let me use that word. Maybe she doesn't know Christ in the first place. Maybe after giving her life to Christ, and a man is coming into her life, and now she's a new creature. All things have passed away, according to the Bible. You won't now tell me because I'm not a virgin. So I have to break that oath that I make with Christ, because now I've given my life to Christ, and I say, okay, now that I've given my life to Christ, I'm not going to do this and that till I get married. And now you, as in my mind, coming to tell me that if I not be virgin, I don't earn it. Though I think I have to go with that first statement by Mrs. Bukola made that probably you're not the first. That means you are not the right person for me. So I use the word you can fuck away. You can go your way. My own person will come my way. Even the man that is coming my way too, that might be my own right partner, might also not be a virgin. The person to my husband might be in the world before, but maybe the person has given his life to can too. He's not saying he's not going to have sex. And the same way goes too for the men too and ladies too. A man too can be in the world and be having sex before, but now he has given a life to Christ and he's meeting a lady, and the lady, maybe she's the sex type of person, and the guy is telling you, no, you know what, I'm going to hold on. I've given my life to Christ. I'm going to hold on. Lady say, no, I know you before now. You are this and that, but no, yeah, I am. I'm a new creature. All things has passed away, so you don't have to judge me with that. Thank you, Mrs. Bukola. Mr. David, if you have anything, let me know. And the point of Mr. Dixon that I said, it's easy for men to shut down. That I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe I should start. I think that's another topic. Maybe we should start from there next week, because I'm trying to manage time right now. I don't want us to exceed 45 minutes. I don't want us to drag it to 1 hour because of our online people that want to listen. Some of them don't have patience to listen for 1 hour. So I'm trying to cut it to 30 minutes. So it'll be very easy for them to listen, because we need subscriber on our YouTube page. So I think he said it's easy for me, but okay, like I said, I don't want to go into that. So let me just thank everybody for that. I think on that note, I've written so many things down. I'm going to tell the lady to check on our YouTube too and listen to it. And in case we have any question or addition, let me know. Laulu and Mr. David. Mr. David Otitokoro, if you have anything to say before we round up, let me know. And I really appreciate everybody. I'm here to learn. I don't have the answer, so that's why I came with the topic today for us to help me out. My only answer to the lady was she was rude. Like the way she tell me, I know, if you tell your man like this, the man said go verse for you. So I have to come to the house. All right, Mr. David, let's hear you.
Thank you very much. It's not that I'm emphasizing that she must be virgin, but I'm just saying it's one of the criteria that it can give her more upper hand. That okay, this is so. But no matter how, this world down. If I may talk a little bit off book, this world
Go
we are
ahead.
living today, we see many people that they are prostitute before they say they want to be give their life to Jesus Christ, and after I've attended to a family in this Akure where both of them didn't have anything before marriage, and after when they got married, the woman now said that the man don't have the manhood of the man was very, 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 very small. She was crying. And though I cannot say that it is proper for her to have to know the man before the marriage. But after the marriage, when they have been joined together, what can be done now? I don't know. So most of the time, to look for somebody you are to ask says your partner very well. It's very good for you to understand, know her trust, and the kind they can consent only show being a show. You are just wasting our time by monitoring them. So you consult, you pray, and you will tell God. Then the God will give you the my point and my stand. So
Thank you. That's a very good. That's what you just mentioned now, Mr. David. As little as you just mentioned it, I'm going to drag it to next week. I am going to drag that. There's a lot of things that are embedded in that story that you just mentioned now, and I've had similar incident before. In fact, similar question, but I don't want to bring it on here. But now that you said something about it, we are going to treat that for next week. We are going to start from that next week. And for what Mr. Dixon said, so I think we have two topics now. I say it's easy for men, and for the fact that the manhood is small and this and that, and some of the we've seen things like that. That even I think we discussed something like that on this platform too. That about lady getting married. That some men we want a woman to get married before they could marry them, so they will not know that they are not marrying a barren woman. Blah blah blah. So now the same goes for men too. The woman wants to have sex with you so that she will know that you are not 1 minute man or something, or this one is even different. Your manhood is small and something like that. So that all those things still not give us the right criteria or the right power to go ahead. So are you going to be testing everybody? So if all the men that comes your way are 50 and all of them, God forbid, all of them, their manhood is not big or is small. So that means you're going to be sleeping with 50 men before you finally get married? No. I think that's not the way forward. I'm not giving an answer now. Like I said, we are going to start from some of those topics. Like I said, thank you for mentioning that. As little as you mentioned it, there are a lot of things that are embedded in it like that, so that we are going to talk about next week. Because most of these things that we talk about here, even though we are, like I said earlier, we are few here, is always online, and you can never say it's going to be a blessing to a lot of people later on. People are just going to be clicking and be checking on it. Like this morning, now my wife woke up and she was watching somebody video that the person has shot since last year, and she was learning from some of those things on one topic like that. So I think, and what we are doing, we are actually blessing some people with our discussion. Anytime we come on platform like this, we are blessing people, whether they are many or not, as long as it goes on online. Whether we like, sometimes some people when they come to you and ask questions, all you need to do is just, like, if you can recall it, that, oh, we've discussed this on Cupid, just tell them, yeah, go to our YouTube page and listen to it. Check the question, check the answer you would need it. So thank you, Mr. Dave, for bringing that up. And we are going to treat that next week. Like I said, I want to quickly shut down by 45 minutes, so that I'm trying to, next week I will try and do it 30 minutes. So please, let's come on time, because we want to short it so that people that are listening online, we will not drag it too much for them. Please and please. Mr. Laolu, do you have anything to say before we close? And Mrs. Bukola, I thank everybody was joining us.
Yeah, nothing much. So it's good to be here. So it's good to be here. It's good to learn from the elders here.
Elders. Okay. Oh, thank you for calling us elders. Thank you. Mrs. Bukola, any final words?
Have
Our
a
lady ever.
wonderful rest.
Please keep our cake. Oh. You should send an audio cake to us in Akure, that we are in Akure, for your birthday.
No problem. I will send them plenty.
All
Okay.
right, thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Mr. David. Stay time next week so that we start on time and leave on time. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody for joining us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. God bless.